Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
You guys want to play hockey with Steve Dangle?
Boo.
Do you guys want to play hockey with Matt Sundin?
Yay!
And Steve Dangle?
Oh.
And Gary Roberts?
Hey!
And Frederick Bodine?
Hey!
And Todd Warner?
Hey!
And the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill?
I went too high too early, and now I just I can't.
You're not
going to
give
go
O-Dog
higher
anything?
No, but I can't. Okay, hooray!
And Steve Dangle?
Here, wait, no, I got to give the shocked O-Dog face, which is great to the audio people.
And Brian Berard?
Yay!
And more!
Yay!
You need to go to leovegas.net. That's right, it's Leo Vegas season again. That means you got to hang out for the Matt Sundin VIP hockey experience. And all you have to do is enter. It's at leovegas.net. We're talking about not just the participation in a hockey game with Matt and all the other alumni and Steve that I mentioned.
Yeah, Iceberg takes the ice.
You also get to be at the welcome reception at the Delta Hotel, meet and greet with Matt's. There will be a commemorative signed photo. Invitation to a private event at Real Sports downtown in Toronto. Special wine and whiskey tasting and gifting from Wayne Gretzky Estates. This is all over the 12th and 13th weekend. By the way, April 13th, my birthday. Yesterday, Steve Dangle's birthday. It's right in that perfect sweet spot of the year where it's our birthday. And by the way, several days before that, it's Jesse's birthday, but he doesn't acknowledge his birthday.
Can we start off the show with Steve's birthday present?
Oh, yeah.
I got Steve a birthday present.
Oh, shit. I did.
Steve, do you want to open your present?
Okay.
It's a special present.
Is it a special present, Jesse?
It is.
It's the least significant birthday I think you can possibly have in your entire life. Like, why?
First, here's the card.
Jesse's ruffling. Like, I'm sure he's going to ruffle some feathers. Steve, this is a very nice card. Happy birthday to you, and it's got all kinds of felt animals on it. We got a giraffe and a frog riding the giraffe eating a cupcake. We got a monkey with some pom-poms and a party hat. A purple elephant, a lion with a party hat, and of course, a whale.
Do you think in the wild frogs ride giraffes?
I like to think yes.
All right.
It's not that far off from the truth. Birds do. And by
Birds
giraffes,
do ride elephants and other animals.
hippos.
And hippos?
I learned that. It's not part of the tour, though. I could still recite the Toronto Zoo tour. Anyway. Here's wishing you lots of fun and happy times. Happy birthday. Happy 31st Dangle Day, Jesse.
It's his Cujo birthday.
Or Freddie Andersen.
Or Freddie Andersen.
Freddie,
That works too.
Or, I don't know, one of the bad Leafs goalies that wore it.
Probably Darren Pupa? Darren Pupa?
No, he wore, at least when he was with Tampa, he wore 93.
Oh.
Never seen a goalie wear 93.
Can we look up Leafs who have worn 20, 30? Oh, Jesse's already on it.
Oh,
okay.
Jesse's
Now read
so
that
on it.
card. Read that.
Do you want me to read it to you?
No,
I
that's
have the
it.
list.
Oh.
I thought something awful was going to jump out
Yeah.
at it, and it was going to be like a regrettable picture.
17 Leafs have won number 31. Al Smith, Marv Edwards, Murray McLaughlin, Gord McRae, Pierre Hamill, Yuri...
Oh, Craw?
Very good. Bob Barrett. That's a normal name.
Yeah.
Alan Bester. Keg Reggett. Peter Ing.
Peter Ing's good.
Damian Rhodes.
Oh.
I used to love Damian Rhodes
I
as a
did
kid.
too.
Because I feel like he was the Leafs' backup after Don Beaupre.
Yes,
and
he
the
was.
bar was set so very low.
Then he went on to have a pretty good little stint in Ottawa.
Yeah. Don Lopre was the bar.
It was a low prey
You
point in
see.
the Leafs
You see.
history.
Grant Furr.
He was
Grant
Was he
Furr.
okay?
He was a Leaf.
Was he okay?
Not as a Leaf.
Probably a better, a better option they had than Felix Potvin. But we don't get into that.
Hey! Felix Potvin took his germ.
Actually, if you want a great read where you go off the deep end, the LeafsNation.com has a article by Jeff Vayette when he used to work there, and we talked about this on the show, and I was giving Steve a hard time for this years ago. I was like, the Leafs should have absolutely kept Fuhr and traded Potvin, and just to piss Steve off, just to bother him. And Jeff actually went in and looked at the numbers and said who the Leafs should have kept. Because remember, Grant Fuhr went on to St. Louis and had a really, really good run there.
See, as a kid, I thought he was unbeatable. But if you go back and look at his Blues numbers, like, no.
You were a child.
Yeah. I had Velcro shoes.
Your eye test as a child isn't the best.
Yeah. Funny
Someone
that.
tells me a player's good, and I'm like, oh, gosh, they're so good.
He's a superhero.
It's almost, it's almost as though Kyle Dubas, it might be too young. He's still a child.
No.
And his
Yeah.
eye test. That's all I'm saying.
And he's failed them all.
Let's fail them all. Anyway, so it's Steve's Grand Fuhrer, Don Beaupre,
Oh, we didn't
Damian
finish the
Rhodes.
list.
Oh, we're not done. Okay.
Marcel Kozino.
Marcel Cousineau.
No, Kozino.
All right.
Curtis Joseph, Pavel Kubina, Garrett Sparks, Frederick Andersen. Garrett Sparks wore 31 in 2016.
Oh,
Yes.
God, what a forgettable season.
Anyways, those are his birthdays. 17 guys.
That's awesome.
All right.
Nice.
Open your present.
It's a black bag with pink paper. You asshole. Wow!
My God, this team is ruining my life.
He got me my book.
I wanted-
I wanted you to sign it.
I want you to sign it, Steve. If you look into the bag, there is more present. As you will see,
Oh, a marker.
there's a blue Sharpie.
That's funny.
Please, for your birthday, sign my copy of This Team is Ruining My Life, but I love them.
Where would you like me to sign it?
On your face.
On my, actually on the
No,
cover?
in the inside of
Okay.
the book, like a normal person.
Like here or here? I worry it'll bleed through.
I don't know. Where do people normally get their books
I don't know.
signed,
I
Steve?
don't usually sign with this.
You're going to be doing this a lot. I don't think this is a conversation you want to be having with all the people you're signing books for.
Okay. I just put no. I'm signing
How long is Steve's book signing going to take?
forever.
Adam?
Oh, how long?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's got a signature that lasts forever, and it always has to be 3. And it can't just be Steve Dangle. It's got to be
No.
Steve Dangle Glenn.
He's still signing my book.
Hey, have you noticed that? Have you noticed what Steve's wearing today?
What is he wearing?
Have a look at the patch on his left shoulder.
His Vancouver 2010.
He's wearing a free jacket today.
from 9 years ago.
From like over 9 years ago.
Hey, the fact
Yeah,
that
it
something
would've
from
been-
9 years ago still fits is great. That's an accomplishment.
I put it
not-
on
I'm
every
not
now
st-
and then just to see.
I don't know if anything from my 9 years ago would fit. That's what I mean.
And Mrs. Dangle, with her friggin' Marie Kondo complex, is like, no, you should keep it. It sparks joy.
And does it?
Yeah, it does.
It's a nice jacket.
But her throwing everything that we own out, it does not spark joy in me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Help me get rid of stuff.
I walked into an Indigo at King and Bay today, and I bought This Team is Ruining My Life.
That's amazing.
Greatest moment of my entire life. Second to when my child was born.
Third to when you found out that Steve Dangle is participating in the Leo Vegas Mad 17 VIP experience.
Fourth.
Make sure that you go to leovegas.net if you want to play hockey with Steve Dangle or Matt Sundin.
Hey!
Are you
Fourth.
excited for this?
Yes. I don't know, it hasn't sunk in yet.
Jesse Wyforth.
To when I bought a Ridge wallet.
Oh. Yeah, well, I remember that day because you were munching on a Panago pizza and you were like, wow, I could sure wash this Crown Royal down with a Ridge wallet.
I could sure use tickets to our event that we don't know is happening.
Hey, there's details on that coming later in the show.
Hey, really?
No.
Also,
so-
I don't have a child.
Also, can we just say happy
Just to
birthday,
clarify.
Steve Dangle? Just like an actual happy birthday.
Whatever. Thank
Steve.
you. Yes.
Monday seems like an eternity away. It
I
seems
know.
like a lot has happened. I know it's only Wednesday. You were at the game. And before we ask you about how terrible it was to be at that game for your birthday, on those tickets where Mrs. Dangle had handed you an envelope that said, so you stop being such a piss baby.
No, something to cheer you the fuck up.
Oh, that's what it was.
Did I tell that story?
Yes,
Yeah,
on the
okay.
podcast. Piss baby is what she calls us when we're moping, you and I. So
Yes.
Why don't you stop being such a
She's
piss
really
baby?
supportive.
She is.
Love her.
She's what I call Scottish supportive. It's
Yeah.
buckle up or get out of my face.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. Right.
Okay. I mean, we gotta hit it first. You knew this is where we were going. The slur, homophobic slur, Morgan Rielly situation, and I guess obviously, if you don't know the situation, it was thought that Morgan Rielly may have called a referee a derogatory homophobic slur.
Yeah, you all know.
You know
Come
what
on.
it is. I don't need to repeat it. And it was reported by one Twitter account, which has a significant enough following, that it was for sure something that happened.
Yeah,
now,
I
that
didn't
Twitter
see
account is
who-
since pulled. I did.
Oh,
I'm not
it was-
going to... I'm
it
not
was
going to...
them first?
They've apologized.
Okay.
And they said, listen, our apologies. It looked that way to us. But you got to remember a couple things here. The NHL did an investigation. The Leafs were completely open to that. Yeah, come on in, do the investigation. The ref says, no, it didn't happen. Morgan Rielly says, no, it didn't happen. And you got to think, the ref, if that had happened, the ref would have penalized him immediately. Like, you could throw somebody out of the game for that.
Yeah, refs let stuff go. They don't let that go. Like, Andrew Shaw was suspended a playoff game, which, like, you can stab someone in the face with your stick and they might not do it.
Yeah.
So they don't play.
No, not with that.
They don't play when it comes to that. So, I guess the oral history here, I don't really think there's a ton of opinion to give. So, it was a lesson in a lot of things, and one of them was reaction, certainly. So, we don't need to pile on this person. I see people days later are still doing it, and I don't think it's necessary. So, the way it all started, so I didn't see this flower. I didn't notice it until I was on the train. So I guess
Where you had a few beers.
I did. No, I
Yeah.
had one.
Oh.
I had one beer with Andrew Nielsen.
Okay.
It was not the former Leafs prospect.
For some reason, I thought you were wasted that night.
No.
No? Your Twitter account was out of control, but anyways, continue the story. I'm iceberging this.
No, all good. Now I know what it feels like. So this happened in the second period, so I didn't see it like blossom and all that. So apparently it was one account that started it.
It was one account.
Then several accounts. I saw a streamable link, which makes me think that a lot of it started spreading on Reddit, and I love Reddit, but unfortunately Reddit is full of a lot of people who think they're freaking detectives, and they're just not. And it's happened over and over and over again on that website, and I wish people would just learn. So the tweet was sent out by an account, and it said, with some certainty, here's Morgan Rielly saying a certain thing, saying this slur. That's dangerous because you better be 100% sure that that is what happened. You need to be 100% sure that is what was said, which is still up for grabs, and you need to be 100% sure it was him, which is still up for grabs. I don't know what the final verdict they came to was, other than he didn't say that thing.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that it wasn't said. It is simply that it wasn't him
Morgan
who
Rielly.
said it.
Yeah.
Then, so I shoot my video. Well, no, sorry. And just to put a bow on that, the person who runs that account is mortified. I know who they are. And we spoke about it, and they apologized.
Yep.
And they deleted it, and they tried to make more amends. But another little lesson in the reaction to it. So that tweet got thousands and thousands and thousands of views.
As it should.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose.
As they knew they would when they hit send.
Right.
right.
They would know that.
Yeah.
Right. Hundreds of retweets, hundreds of likes. They issued an apology, and after 2 hours, it had 5 likes.
Yeah.
5. No
Yeah.
one gave a shit. So I retweeted it, and then it got a little bit more, but no one gave a shit. No one cared.
Well, no one cares about the apology. Everybody cares about the thing.
Yeah.
The fire
Right.
when it's
I think
happening.
everybody had moved on to the action that had happened.
Yeah.
Right. So then I shoot my video, and I go, we basically talked about hockey culture and homophobia within hockey culture and stuff like that. And I spoke to a few members of, Leafs fandom in the LGBT community and things of that nature. And it wasn't until I started editing the video that the Flintor thread I saw had taken off.
The Raggett thread.
Yes, and which was another fascinating social thing. So he was saying that someone, wasn't even necessarily Rielly, was saying Raggett, and then after that it was rag, rag, rag. So what was amazing, and over 24 hours afterward, you were still seeing people go, it's amazing that the length Leafs fans will go to excuse one of their favorite players. They'll even make up a hockey term. Now, I won't blame you for never having heard that term before.
I never have.
Count myself among them.
Yeah.
I have never heard that term before. You grew up playing hockey.
12 years. Never heard that.
You've never heard that term before, have you?
Never heard it until Tuesday.
And I was talking to Fisher.
Or
He grew up
Monday.
playing hockey. He never heard it before.
We played on the same team.
Yep.
Many years.
Exactly. And Dan Carcillo played in the NHL. He never heard it before. But then I'm talking to other people, some of them younger, sort of in their early 20s. They're like, how have you never heard that before? I was talking to someone on ice surfing yesterday who's a little older, and they were like, are you serious? You've never heard that before? Jason York seemed to know it. So,
And Flinter quoted a Ken Dryden book.
just quoted a Ken Dryden book. So I won't blame you for not having known it, because I didn't know it either. But I didn't then go, I don't know it, so therefore it's made up.
Dude,
What are you, an asshole? Seriously.
Man. Yo.
Okay, just because you didn't previously know a thing didn't mean it didn't exist before you knew it. That's what learning things is. I learned a thing. That was stunning to me. So it could have been that. It wasn't proven that it was that either.
Nope.
Might have been. I don't know. To me, it made a lot more sense.
Well, especially given, and this is where I stayed out of it because I wanted to see what the investigation uncovered, right?
Yeah.
And that was important to me.
that was
I
another
think if I was younger, I don't think I would have. But
Same.
I think because I have the benefit of overreacting to things in the past or reacting before I knew all the evidence. I don't want to say overreacting. Let me retract that. I have the benefit of reacting to things before I have the facts. And making that mistake many times in my past, where now I'm like,
100%.
you know what? Especially, like, it's one thing if it's a trade or a goal or, it's a rule thing.
Yeah.
This is a homophobic slur.
Yes.
I am not wading into that until there's an investigation. I don't want to know until they present the facts, present what you found, and then I'll react to it.
That's why, and sorry, that was another fascinating thing about it, because then there were. I think there were several groups. One of them was people who genuinely did not know if that's what was said and or genuinely didn't know if it was Rielly who said it. Mm-hmm. Then there's this group of schmucks who don't care. They don't think it's a big deal at all. And they were sort of getting lumped together. So,
which is bullshit, by the way. You can't.
No, and then there's some people who were like, it's not a big deal. And then when the NHL, after the investigation, said Rielly didn't do it, they were like, see, he didn't even do it. Well, no. Wait a minute. Let's go
You
back
said
a
it
little
wasn't
bit.
a big
You
deal.
said it wasn't a big
And
deal.
it is a
which,
big
fuck
deal.
you, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Which, absolutely, yes, it is. So, oh my God, there's so many layers to this shit onion. And it's awful. We tried to, I'm glad they.
Here's what I want.
What?
I want to say something. Because
Say it, because I'm speed
because
wobbling.
we haven't said it yet. It should go without saying, but I feel like we've got to this point in the conversation where somebody listening hasn't got here yet,
Yeah.
and will tweet us and say this is a relevant conversation anyway.
Stop virtue signaling. If you use that term, there is a 90% chance you're an asshole.
You're also probably a Russian troll. Let's be honest.
yeah.
Or just like some brainwashed asshole.
Hold on, though. Let me talk. Let me say this one thing.
Sure.
This one thing is, it's still good to have the conversation.
Yes. Yes. Which is why I had no reservations about having it after the game.
I think it was great. There were people making donations to You Can Play. There was, a genuine...
Rainbow Railroad, that was Adam Lascaris on that one?
Yeah. And there was a genuine dialogue that took place.
Yes.
And that is a good thing, because this is something that, this is the whole reason You Can Play exists. And the fact that the Burke family has gotten behind that, the fact that, Brian Burke had a son that was just in that same boat. Mm-hmm. And you can play and you can be a part of this. It doesn't matter, what your sexuality is, how you identify, it does not matter. Color, age, race, doesn't matter. And that is a good conversation to have. That is a constructive conversation to have. Now I'm going to balance. I'm not going to balance that. I'm also going to say this. And I've seen a lot of and followed a lot of scandals. And that's what this would have been. It's a scandalous thing. It's something that makes people go, wow, right? That's what a scandal basically is. And a lot of times, if something seems out of character, not every time, but if something seems out of character for somebody to do, normally there might be a reason for that, as in we don't know all the facts.
Right.
I looked at this situation, and this is why I didn't wade into it, because I wanted to know, okay, did he do it? If he did it, then punish him. The guy deserves it. Kevin Pillar got
100%.
punished for it. Andrew Shaw got punished for it. Punish him.
Yep.
But I'm not going to give that opinion because I think that's obvious. What am I going to... What exact... Like, what am I going to further... How am I going to further the dialogue of this conversation and to say anything constructive by saying, well, if he did it, punish him? Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but this is...
But
yes.
hang on.
Yeah, sure.
When a guy like Morgan Rielly, who is known for his character, who is known to be a guy that gets out there and does charitable things and is a leader in the dressing room, and I'm not saying that all leaders in all dressing rooms are not capable of this. That's not what I'm saying.
Active in pride.
Active in pride. Especially active in pride. Yeah. When I see that, I go, I will wait for the investigation. Because I think Morgan Rielly at least deserves that. And he has gone out of his way to be more involved in that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I think that might not be a detail that everybody knows, but for me it was sort of like I
didn't previously know that.
Okay.
Until Dubas said it at the press conference.
So this is a guy that, and I think what Dubas said was really important here too. I don't think the team or Morgan are victims at all.
This is Dubas.
Yeah, I want it to be perceived that Morgan feels I don't want it to be perceived that Morgan feels that way or the team feels that Morgan was slandered. Rather than disputing what was said or wasn't, the focus should be on how horrible the slur is. Every time it's even thought that those types of words are uttered in our facility or anywhere, we have to do our part as the Toronto Maple Leafs to get rid of casual homophobia, vulgar homophobia, things that make any sexuality or sexual orientation feel unsafe and uncomfortable in our facilities. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Yep. That's exactly the way that I would look at it. Mm-hmm. And nobody's a victim here except for the people that have that word thrown at them casually every day.
Yeah, I think he tapped into something there, and I'm sure there's a group of you who are like, well, wait a sec, isn't there someone else you didn't mention in there? And that was the people who were just immediately like, Morgan Rielly did this. Now, I mean, some of them are just, I saw the video and I'm a detective and, that is the conclusion I've come to. And listen, I'm not even going to blame you that much. The first half dozen times I watched it, I'm like, oh my God.
My heart sank.
Oh, I died. And, well, in the first few times I watched and listened to it, I was on the train. So, I'm on a screen this big. I don't have my headphones in. I don't want to blast that through a public transit.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm just like, oh, God. It's exactly what it looked like.
But you can't watch that and then react and be like, he did this thing. It's about waiting for the investigation, the results, and finding... Because it's not our job.
But people do.
To determine if he did it or not.
I would just say that's kind of the culture that we're in.
Yeah, which is a shame.
It's a shame.
It is a shame. Now, wait, though. There is another group, though, where it's not a Morgan Rielly thing. It's not a Leafs thing. It's society hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt from them.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Right?
100%.
But they hear it too much.
And from athletes especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, we've had examples in different sports every year where this has happened. Yeah. I don't blame people for thinking that. I also... Yeah. I'm just telling you my side of it.
So that's where some of the heat comes from.
For sure. And there were people online. You mentioned the group of people that said, but this is something that's said in rinks all the time. That's the fucking problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is an issue.
Yes.
There is an issue that's worth the conversation.
And those were the same people, though. This is said in rinks all the time. Oh, see, he didn't even say it. Like, no. You're not realizing that's two different things.
You don't
two
get
extraordinarily different things you're saying.
No.
Yeah, so, listen. Someone said something that I thought made perfect sense. You know who knows whether or not he said it? The official.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess they looked at every angle, and let me tell you,
they got more angles than we do.
They got a lot more camera and microphone angles than we do.
And you can isolate those because those go into separate channels. I don't know if anybody's worked in like a TV studio, but everything is spaced out into a different recording. You're not just hearing everything together like you are on a TV broadcast where it's mixed down to a stereo feed.
Yes.
It's every separate 16 by whatever channel they're recording.
And that was another angle of it all. At the end of the clip, Greg Millen talks.
Mm-hmm.
So Greg Millen, let's assume that the slur is what was said. Okay, let's assume that it could have been God knows how many people, because the guy between the benches has his mic potted up. How many times have you been listening to a hockey game or watching a hockey game on TV and heard, whoo, just a blue streak of stuff because, well, it's a hot mic.
Yeah.
You know? They got a lot more angles than we do. And the ref, I see absolutely no reason why they wouldn't have called it at the time, and he wouldn't have said it in the investigation.
Also, he didn't react when it happened.
Yeah.
There's no
if that happens, you're thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Like you're done.
Also, your face just doesn't look the exact same a half second before it's said.
No.
Like, you would react to that, I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah. And listen,
Anyways.
the clip syncs up in an awful way. And if you at any point believed Rielly said it,
I don't blame you.
I can't say I blame you.
Because I looked at it and thought, whoa, that's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what has happened. Okay, sorry. Assuming the slur was not said, I think what has happened has ultimately been good. If the slur was said, obviously it's bad, whoever it came from. But there's been a larger conversation about it. It's good to know where the Leafs stand as an organization, you know, as the words left Kyle Dubas's mouth. And I think the NHL, I would think, got it right.
Yeah. And I just want to throw this out there. It seemed like the Leafs took a stronger stand against it than I've ever heard a team or the NHL take.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, I guess you get put in a situation where you got to plant your flag.
Yeah.
More than you previously had. Like, I guess that's what Dubas was sort of saying. Like, we had previously said, these things are unacceptable.
But just in case we weren't clear the first time.
Yeah, let me say it a little louder for the people in the back. So, that was good. There was a lot of bad. I'm hoping a lot of lessons were learned. And, I mean, dude, stuff takes off like that. Stuff takes off like that.
Well, that's the way it works. Well, and
you got to be so careful.
The reason that stuff takes off is because it's so shocking.
Well,
yeah.
It's such a juxtaposition. Wait, Morgan Rielly, noted good guy, says this?
Well, and it's not as simple as, like, I saw some people say that the original account, they're like, oh, you did that with malicious intent. No, that's too easy. They didn't do that out of malicious intent. They did it because I think they were just acting quicker than they were thinking. They went, for sure, this is what was said. This is who said it. And they sent it out. And they worried a little too much about being first rather than being right. Let that be a lesson. And I don't want to pile on. I know they feel just like shit. I know they feel awful.
We all make mistakes.
I think this would have taken off without the tweet. Can we also say that? Like, people heard it on the broadcast.
I don't know.
We don't know that.
I don't know.
I have a feeling it would have.
They were the only ones that had it. So, listen, we've all done stupid things for which we've had to apologize, whether publicly or personally, and you learn from it. And sometimes when you do something stupid, you don't even know it's stupid when you go into it, or you don't even know that maybe it's not even stupid. Maybe your logic's a bit flawed, or maybe you were a little too quick on the draw. Or whatever the reason is, we've all done things in the past. You've apologized, you've owned it, you move on, right?
Yeah. You brought this up before, or earlier in the conversation, but I hope the point about the people who reacted about how this is something you hear in rinks all the time. Oh, are you shocked about this? I hope that is what stands out, and that's kind of what we have a conversation about.
Yes.
Because I hope that reaction would be the shocking thing.
I want to be shocked hearing that in a rink.
Exactly. I hope eventually we get to the point where you'd be like, you would never hear this in a hockey room. You don't have those people coming out being like, oh, this is all the time. That really stood out to me. So I hope this jumps off into a discussion about getting that out of the vocabulary of people in rinks like that.
Yeah. It doesn't even pop in. Yeah. I don't know. I think we've exhausted.
I think
it.
we've said
we're done
it.
here.
Yeah. Then we've talked about it. I think anybody that listens to the show with any regularity knew that we would think this way. I don't think this is surprising to anybody.
Hope. I saw a few sticking up for your favorite team, favorite player. I'm like, all right, fuck. Like, what do you want me to say?
Dude.
What would you just
imagine?
give me a list of the things
Imagine
you
being
want
a
me to say.
person. Imagine being a person who tweeted that and believed it.
I try not to because it makes me feel bad.
It's just like, okay, so you're going to take this sort of moment to take a swing at somebody being a Leaf fan. Okay,
Like,
all right, that's the moment you want to take. Sure, you can take. You should have taken the game moment where the Leafs got blown out by Tampa Bay. Can we talk about that?
Oh fuck, they got shit kicked. It was awful.
Can we talk about for Steve's birthday? He was fed a shit sandwich by his favorite team.
Their worst game of the season, and I went to it. It was pretty great.
You've been to some good ones though.
Oh, I've been to some great. I was confused because Mrs. Dangle was there, and they don't lose games she goes to.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
And I want to say she's 2-2 this season.
Now, to be fair, ish. Top two of the top three defensemen are out. Half the team, including one of the linesmen, had the flu.
I've never seen that before. That was another thing I didn't know until after the game.
And I mean, let's just be straight. I kind of like that they got, as Austin Matthews put it, slapped.
Yeah.
Wake up. Wake up.
And Kapanen wasn't in the game.
Yep.
By
the way, he's officially listed as having a concussion now. I don't know when it would have occurred, but
I don't want to play doctor or detective on that one, but I have a feeling it was a week ago.
Was that where he fell into the boards?
Maybe.
Yeah. I was like, how does he not injured after that? But anyway, who knows? We don't know.
I mean, they got the guys. They have extra bodies up front.
Yeah.
So even if it's precautionary, good. Yes, this is the time of season where you do that.
Please.
Yes,
please do that.
For the love of God.
I think, in watching the game, I wanted to... There's been a few games where I've wanted to reach through the television and just grab them by the collar and give them the speech that Darcy Tucker gave us after the Boston game.
The 5-1 goal.
You are on an amazing team in the NHL, and you get to play in the NHL and make millions of dollars doing it. How is this your effort? I wanted to do the same thing when they took on the Islanders in Long Island.
Yeah.
Like, how is this your effort? How is this the best you can do?
And that was another game where they looked fine. I thought to start the game they looked fine.
They did, until the Hyman thing was called back. And then they were just like, Buh.
In this one too.
Yeah.
Against Tampa, I thought they started fine. That's why after the game I was like, oh, okay, the flu, it sort of makes sense. You all right there?
Yeah, Sean, sorry.
I'm
not for a long time.
Because Hyman missed the morning skate, but then he played. Mm-hmm. And Kapanen, who was in the morning skate, did not play. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, okay, something's up. Like, what's going on? Turns out a lot of them had the flu. So it made sense that second half of the game effort was just not there at all. But God, did they get shit kicked. Tampa was toying with their food. Like, Tampa, the only reason that game wasn't 10-1 is because they took mercy.
Yep.
They really did have mercy, except for Vasilevsky. Jesus Lord. Matthews had that one amazing goal. What I do love about this team is when he scored that goal, I genuinely believed they had a shot.
Oh, yeah.
It was 4-0. He made it 4-1, and I was like, yeah!
We've seen it before.
We've seen 4-1 leads go away.
Yeah, that's right.
We've seen it.
What did you think? I saw on Twitter and on local radio, I won't say the guy, but afterwards they gave Matthews the old, hey, you can't celebrate when you're down 4-1.
He celebrated when they were down 3-0 and they won 6-3. So, shut up.
Yeah?
Shut
we're on the, you can celebrate a goal when you're down? Okay.
Yes. I think you can get chirped for it, but I'm so tired of, like...
Who robbed you of your fun?
How many rules are there around celebrating? Like, not even just having fun, just celebrating. Come on! And Rielly did it. It was either earlier this season or last season, and it helped spark a comeback, or it was in the midst of a comeback. Like, is it okay if you celebrate, like, when your team's down 3 or 4-0, and then you end up coming back to win? That's fine then. Because then you're a great leader and motivator. Blow it out your ass. I'm so tired of all the... Hey, you want to hear another word that's overused? I'm so tired of all these narratives. There's another one.
People
We've
do
used
like
that.
Oh, to fit your narrative.
Well, we used that last
But
episode.
that could be
so
used in a
sick
different
of this
way.
narrative.
in what context?
No, it's okay to...
Oh, you mean it's a crutch? Like what people just, like talk
Yeah.
radio people?
Yes.
Oh, I get you.
Narrative is a popular one.
I wonder, okay, when you watch...
It's the new literally.
When you watch,
literally's cool now.
When you watch anybody, like, and I'll blame Tim and Sid for this because we know them and we love them and they're amazing guys.
Bastards!
Yes.
Sid is so brilliant at pissing off Toronto Maple Leaf fans, and he loves it.
He does love it.
Loves it. Any opportunity he can to bash the Leafs and how quiet the arena is.
I love it.
Now, but Sid would never be the kind of guy who would be upset about Matthews celebrating a 4-1 goal, I wouldn't think.
No, he doesn't have old man takes.
No, that's the thing. So all Sid does is make fun of how quiet that arena is.
I'd like to think a brash Portuguese guy known for screaming would not object to celebrations.
The fact that anybody could talk about is how quiet the Toronto arena is. And yet, here we are having a celebration from a player that's showing a little bit of passion, and everybody's like, no, sweep that under the rug. Fuck off with your feelings, Austin. Maybe he was excited. Yeah. This is. You know what this is? Let's just say it what it is.
It's a let's go.
It's like the Tavares thing. It's, I'm afraid of my feelings. I've never been taught to deal with them. So when other people show genuine emotion, I don't know how to handle it. That's what it is.
Did you like that you're responsible for like the new go-to chirp for Leafs now?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, well, because they got their ass kicked, and someone's like, "Oh, do we need to have like a whole like Leafs Day against Chicago?"
Did you see the? Do you see the response to the booing?
Sorry,
they brought up Adam on the response to the booing. Someone was like, I see they're booing the team a week later after cheering for Tavares."
Well, they deserved to be booed. They were terrible.
How could you boo him if your next game you're going to cheer them again?
Bad game.
I saw that on Twitter.
Oh,
Twitter's a terrible place. I can't wait till it gets shut down.
Okay, so literally, I think we all make our living on social media.
Yeah.
And I don't care. Like, I'll go into financial peril and celebrate the day that we as a society go, fuck it, none of it. Someone was like, oh yeah, just shut down Facebook. No, not enough. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of it gone. We have Tumblr and nothing.
How will I remember anyone's birthday without Facebook?
Screw birthdays. I told you what I used to do.
Yeah, I didn't even give you a card this year.
I used to know because it used to come up on the right side. Hey, it's so-and-so's birthday. And I Mary Kondo it. If it didn't spark joy in me that it was their birthday, I unfriended them on their birthday. Don't care.
I used to do that too.
I have like 900 people on my Facebook. I don't know 900 people. I don't. Sorry, I'm grumpy today.
You got 100,000 on your YouTube.
No, not yet.
No?
Yeah, when are we going to get to that?
I don't know. It takes a while to get subscribers. I saw people
if you haven't subscribed to Steve yet, why?
Yeah.
Get on it. Let's get him to 100K. Where are you at?
Aren't you like 98?
Close to 98.
And you're not pumping the shit out of this?
I saw people go like, oh, let's get him to 100K for his birthday. I'm like, it is a lot harder to get YouTube subscribers than Instagram
it's very
followers.
Difficult. You can't just buy them like half the kids do on Instagram.
Yeah, and some media personalities.
Oh my God. Oh, the Twitter buying in media circles is bad. You want to have a fun game? Fun game?
Yeah.
TwitterAudit.com.
Yeah. TwitterAudit.com.
Fun game.
Oh, I know I'm like
no, you
14% fake, something like that?
If you're up near your level, you should be between 10 to 15% fake or dead accounts.
After I hit 50,000 followers, like just the sheer amount of porn bots.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was insane. Also the election. 97,486 subscribers. So I got about 2,500 to go. Hey, the podcast channel's doing pretty good.
Is it?
I think it's over 26,000 subscribers. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of subscribers.
It's great.
I'm very happy.
So the shit kicking. Getting slapped.
The Leafs.
Oh,
is what we were talking
I think it was a good
about.
thing.
Gotcha.
I hate to frame it. A frame of loss is a good thing. Here's what I'll say. I hope it was a good thing. I hope they woke up. Because whatever's going on, they seemed a little bit like, I know they're sick and injured and whatever, and that's fine. But let's not pretend that the players that were there seemed great.
Well, here, let me throw something out there because it's so much easier said than done after the fact, so I'll say it now. Can the Leafs lose to Chicago can the Leafs acceptably lose to Chicago if they at least look good?
Yeah.
You lose games, you look good.
I think you can acceptably look. I think you can do that in any context, as long as it's not like 10 games in a row.
All right. So that's, I mean, honestly, like, okay, there's the home ice advantage thing with the Bruins. It'd be nice to get it. They're playing each other. It's happening.
Yeah.
Barring a miracle.
It would take a couple runs by a couple teams and a couple collapse by either one of these. And so it's not happening.
One of the Leafs or Bruins would basically have to win their remaining games, and Tampa would have to lose all of them.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or Montreal could go on a run.
They would have to go on a crazy run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if Montreal goes on a run, then they sneak in.
I'd be okay with it.
It's not happening, but
Any team with Carey Price.
They're playing.
It's true.
So, at this point, we know who's playing who. You're just playing for home ice advantage. I want to see a healthy fucking team, but also I want to see a good effort.
Yep.
I want to see a good effort. I want to see, clean team play.
And
Oh my God.
They're not that far behind the Bruins. It's 4 points. It's a lot, but it's 2 wins, and they have a game in hand.
And the Bruins haven't they lost 2 straight?
They have.
They almost did it again last night, though.
Almost came back.
Jesus! The Blue Jackets somehow got up 5-1, and the Bruins, 5-2. And I announced to the ice surfing studio, I'm like, the Boston Bruins will win this hockey game. 5-3, 5-4, and then did you see the thing with the 5-4 goal?
no.
The Blue Jackets only had 4 guys on the ice.
Oh, no way.
They fucked up. They just they forgot to put out a 5th guy.
And they scored.
Torts is going to love
And
that.
they scored right off the faceoff. Bergeron
Wow.
and Marchand snipe. So, but they won. Boone Jenner got his first career hat trick. The Blue Jackets won. Just flying by the seat of their pants. Carey Price stole one for Montreal. It's tight there at the
Jacques
bottom of the
Plante
conference.
wishes he was Carey Price.
Yeah. Sure does.
You know, the funny thing
350.
about Carey Price is he's done it on some pretty mediocre teams.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Some pretty bad teams.
he's got like 7 years left on his contract, and he's
know.
already got the Habs record.
Yeah. That's
That guy's-
pretty cool.
He's going to win like 500 games as a Hab when it's all said
Yep.
and done.
Yep.
That's staggering.
And how many Stanley Cups?
Let's just say 25 Stanley will remain that way.
Wow.
Oh.
No, it's 24 Stanley.
Oh.
No, 25 Stanley is anticipating their next win.
Oh.
Way
wow.
to go, Adam.
Sorry.
You're a Habs fan. You should know this.
You're right, I should. I also should let you know that Ridge Wallets is offering 10% off their amazing, tough wallets that we use.
I'm trying to get it out.
Get it out. 10% off the wallet that will last you a lifetime. You don't have to get another one.
Our tendage.
Our tendage?
If you put the 10 where the eye is supposed to be.
Our tendage. Is that supposed to be
Is it
supposed to be a retrospect? D1K?
It works.
Yeah, hard as a rock. You can drop it. It doesn't scratch. It doesn't break. And if by chance you get a chip sometime or whatever, guess what? Lifetime warranty. Taken care of. Go to ridgewallets.com. The code again is SDP for 10% off.
Hey, if you're on a long playoff run, stuff it into your sock, and you can use it to block shots.
There
What?
you go.
Ridge Wallets!
Everybody asks me.
You thought it was just for cards and money?
I'm gonna have to ask Jordy, our Ridge guy, the rep for Ridge, if people keep asking me when I pull this out. Apparently, there's a new scam going around where people can scan a grocery store, for instance, and pick up your credit card number because of your chip number, and then hack your credit card that way on a computer. So all you need to do is be in the store, have this particular type of scanner, and then there are wallets that block it.
Oh.
And so people, every time I pull this out in like the grocery store or whatever, people are like, "Oh, is that one of those ones that that blocks the chip card reader?" I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
I just know
metal.
it's tough as nails, so I would assume so. Well, it's carbon fiber.
Oh.
This one's carbon fiber. Yours is aluminum or titanium. One of you got aluminum. One of you got titanium. Anyway,
I got titanium.
Yeah.
so I don't actually know the answer to that, but I want to talk to Jordy about that because I really want to know more about that whole thing. I want to know, like, I also want to know more about these scanners. Like, how
Scanners.
many? Are there a lot of them? Are they legal? Can you just buy one?
Here's your answer. Radio frequency identification, RFID, is the use of radio waves to read and capture information stored on a tag attached to an object. A tag can be read from up to several feet away and does not need to be within direct line of sight of the reader to be tracked. All of our wallets block RFID with the two aluminum inner plates. So there you go. If you have this, it is. So when people in the grocery store ask you if this is one of those special wallets that can block people from stealing all of your credit card information, you can say, yes, it is.
Yeah, you'd be like, you can't use my $500 limit, sir.
Aluminum. Aluminum.
What is it?
Is it weird that while you guys are having a conversation, I'm going...
It's very you. It's very you.
Yeah.
The mind of Steve Dangle. Hey, okay. Again,
That's kind of cool.
The code one more time for SDP is SDP for 10% off a Ridge wallet. Get yours today.
Artendage. It's a word to respect for Ridge wallets.
How would we fit 97 into the Oilers? Oilers 97ers.
Two-packed.
Two-pack.
No, because there's nothing that looks like a 9 or a 7 really in Oilers.
Unless you took the O and you put a thing, a 9. And then you took the L and you inverted it to a 7. That would...
No, like C... okay, so the C is an open bracket. And then it's just spelled honor after that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the American way, not the Canadian way.
No. It's got to be the Canadian way.
Canadian way is with the U,
so
right?
that they
so
know.
would that
Yeah.
work?
No, but we're honoring a guy who... We're honoring the new Captain Canada.
We're honoring
Always at the World Championship.
We're honoring the guy who has not asked for a trade yet.
Do we know of?
According to 31 Thoughts, the blog.
He has asked for a trade. Wow, what a... Oh, that's not...
Elliot Friedman. Everywhere you went at the GM meetings last week in Boca, Edmonton CEO Bob Nicholson was meeting with someone. He was rarely alone, constantly picking brains and ideas of candidates. There's been a lot of reporting on names, but the list goes deep and will be interesting to see how many interviews there are. Several executives from other teams advised him to take as much time as possible, that there's no such thing as taking too long to get it right. Well, there might be if you've got nobody there for the draft or free agency. It also gives the Oilers more time to see what shakes loose. For example, depending upon what happens in Detroit, I could see Nicholson asking old friend Ken Holland what his future plans might be. I thought Detroit was going to extend him, and I thought Elliot mentioned that, but they haven't done it yet.
No, I mean, you'd think the smart thing to do would be to move on.
The Oilers are because he's like a kleptomaniac with his players. It's like, oh, Mike Green's injured. Let's sign him again. No, sign him one more time.
No.
Poor Mike Green, by the way. He's out for the rest of the season. The Oilers are very comfortable with Keith Gretzky handling the job until everything is settled.
Me too.
As things progressed in Edmonton, Peter Chiarelli kept things very tight. The organization likes Gretzky's internal openness. I don't think Gretzky has a choice. He's not the GM.
I
He's
really
just the guy.
I enjoyed the advice and feedback of the Wolves, said the Lamb.
That's true.
Of course the other GMs like you. Like, what do you... they're going to duff this.
You think so?
Yep.
Well,
They're gonna duff this.
What's interesting about this, Bob Nicholson was the head of Hockey Canada for a long time, did a great job, transformed that body. I get it. And there are criticisms of Hockey Canada that I don't know enough about to really comment on, to be honest with you.
It's amazing what you can do with the deepest hockey nation on earth and no cap.
And
all the funding you can ever ask for.
And no competition.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Bob Nicholson was CEO of a company that literally has no competition.
You could go into any bar down the street and just give them a list of Canadian players, and they'll come up with a team to beat the Czech Republic. So it's like, how many millions of dollars, how many years of expertise do you need to like go from them to like the States?
So now he's running a team that will soon have 31 different competitors. Has 30 already.
Yeah.
And this is really the first time we've seen him in a position where he's had to compete. And so I think this has been a learning experience, because from what we understand with Peter Chiarelli was the only person they interviewed for it. When they interviewed. He was like, yep, Peter, got him.
They had their man.
Gave up a second round pick for him.
Yep.
So
Babcock rule.
It would seem, and any good leader, and I'm willing to give Bob Nicholson credit here, any good leader goes, yeah, I fucked that up. You're not going to do it that way again.
Yep.
So good for him. We'll see. But this is a new world for him. And nobody wants to admit that. Nobody's talking about that because Bob's a good guy, as he should be.
But in
Edmonton,
it's getting a little bit of traction.
Oh, is it?
Not so much in the media, but in the blogs.
That's what I'm talking about. In the media.
The Edmonton blogs are powerful, though. Like, they're their own outlet.
Yes. And they should be. Because they're the only thing in Edmonton presenting a genuine other side. Everybody else with access, besides like Jonathan Willis, is going, this is all pretty great. What about Keith Gretzky? Wow, he woke up and he brushed his teeth today. GM candidate. So, no offense to Keith, but are we serious?
I typically don't tweet at this guy because everyone tweets at this guy, and at this point I feel like it's mean. Jim Matheson.
He's having a rough season. He's having a real rough season.
Is shocking. My goodness. The GMs liked the way Keith Gretzky conducted himself at the trade deadline, and he had a great trade deadline. They didn't make a move. They did not make a trade. What fantasy fairy tale are you spinning? Nothing happened. Their last move, wasn't it the Spooner trade? That was Peter Chiarelli made that move.
Let me just read this tweet.
Please do.
I too join the chorus of followers of Keith Gretzky.
The chorus!
What chorus?
Of followers. You can literally see Keith Gretzky waltzing and playing the flute as he skips up the street with
and leads the rats out of
hordes
Ireland.
people dancing and singing behind him. Yeah.
We've done quite a few podcasts in 2019, but I think I've long been, I too joined the chorus of followers of Keith Gretzky is my favorite line in 2019.
Can we
It's unbelievable.
Can we make that a shirt?
No, you can't. I wouldn't take somebody's tweet and put it on a shirt.
Really?
Yeah, no. I'm above that.
Oh.
No. Here, wait. This is better. Just screen cap it. No.
Let me finish the tweet. He wasn't done.
Oh, thank goodness.
I too join the chorus of followers of Keith Gretzky.
The chorus.
He dealt with other GMs at the trade deadline, and the strong word was this: he was calm, he knew what he wanted, and other GMs liked his work. That's probably a problem. He definitely should be considered for the next vacant GM job. The GMs liked his work.
Okay, do you want me to dumb that down? He used a phone!
And said, I'm not giving these players away for free.
I did the same thing as Keith Gretzky on trade deadline day. I called people on my phone and made no trades.
And GMs were impressed.
And they were impressed.
Other GMs were impressed with Steve Dangle's performance.
Oh, God, I can't remember who tweeted it, but it was basically like, I'll give you, a third-round pick for Clefbaum. No. Wow, he's better than the last guy.
So then he goes, I've long been of the opinion that you never know exactly what you're getting when NHL teams hire an assistant GM from another team to be GM. It's like a backup goalie. Do you really know for sure that they can be a starter?
It's like a backup goalie. Not as good.
So he thinks, so based on that logic, the only pool of people to hire from are people that are already current GMs.
Or have been GMs.
That was the tweet following the Keith Gretzky tweet, by the way. Same day. And then
this one
And then he got ratioed a little bit.
This one is
to my followers.
It's amazing.
Keith Gretzky is not a part of the old boys club. He has the Gretzky name, but he came from the Boston Bruins in 2016. He worked his way up for close to 20 years, first as a scout. So quit the remarks of the same old from unhappy Oiler fans. Now, that all may be true. I listen, I'm not begrudging what Keith Gretzky has done. I don't know enough about it, to be honest. But to say that a guy who is now the interim general manager of the Edmonton Oilers with the last name Gretzky, there isn't some sort of connection there. I mean,
That's just a lie.
yeah.
Press box meals in Edmonton must be the stuff of legend. How well fed are these men?
They all get a Bobby Nix burger.
All of them get a $35 Bobby Nix burger that they enjoy in standing room only outside of the actual rink.
Now that's just I want there to be an understanding here. I'm not bashing Keith Gretzky.
No.
Right?
No,
And
but
listen,
that's a bit much.
that's like me saying, well, I got in this broadcast industry all by myself, zero help at all, and no, I don't know who my mother is.
Also, the chorus of followers.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
I worked very hard on my own. We never worked for the same company. But to say that even having my mother to bounce things off of wasn't a bit of an advantage would be lying.
you're King Leonidas. I've said it before.
Leonidas?
that
Like,
means.
yeah, you were born, into royalty, but then they made you go out into the wilderness and you had to fend off wolves and shit, and then you came back and were king only when you proved you were worthy. Only when you proved you were worthy of the crown.
So are Keith Gretzky and I both King Leonidases?
No, just you.
Well, listen, Keith Gretzky could be a great GM and we just don't know it yet. However-
mean, this is his wolf.
This is his wolf.
The Edmonton Oilers
And Jim,
are a wolf.
and Jim Matheson is his spear.
I like it. I like it. We're working on it. I like it.
I just think it would have been weird if people said to me when I was working a swing shift at B101 in Barrie, and I was 19 years old, hey, Adam, you sure would be great to do mornings in Toronto. You see what I'm saying? It's a bit premature to say Keith Gretzky is good at his job. Is that not fair?
It's premature to say he has a chorus of followers. What? Where? I haven't read any of them. Oh, been around for a while is not a qualification.
That's
just
that's
not.
what I'm trying to say. There you go.
It's just not. It needs to be, because whenever they say, well, been around for a while, there's a chorus of people on Twitter who go, well, here's his draft record in Arizona, and here's what Boston did when he was there, and here's what the Oilers did when he was there.
And does he have a good record?
No, it's bad.
Well, and wasn't one of his first jobs with the Gretzky-owned Coyotes?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it ain't good. It ain't good.
Okay.
How do we feel about Jim Matheson's thoughts that Morgan Rielly can't carry Chris Pronger's equipment bag?
Sorry, what?
Because that's something he tweeted.
Jim Matheson tweeted that?
He was quote tweeting a tweet from Paul Almeida, who's
Almeida.
who's I think Arizona Coyotes blogger.
Paul Almeida? No, isn't he Oilers?
I don't know who he writes for. Anyways, he was just quoting it, and he said, sorry, I had to agree with Paul. With all due respect, Morgan Rielly can't carry Chris Pronger's equipment bag. Rielly as good as Pronger? Whoa.
Well, I don't think that anybody... Is anybody suggesting that Riley's as good as Pronger?
Somebody was like, hey, name a defenseman since 2000 on the Oilers who's as good as Morgan Rielly. And someone's like, Chris Pronger. And Jim Matheson's like, yeah, I agree.
You know what? I would say Chris Pronger would be a pretty...
I think
Yeah, he had a hell of a year.
I think
They
just
did have
because
a-
you
They
say,
did have a hell of a year.
I think just because you say with all due respect doesn't mean you can disrespect Morgan Rielly.
With all due
by
respect,
saying
here's something disrespectful.
He can't carry his equipment bag.
With all due respect, in comparison to Chris Pronger, the aforementioned player is shit.
Respectfully. though. Respectfully.
In comparison,
Guy who's worked his whole life. Respectfully.
I think Morgan Rielly could be on a pair with prime Chris Pronger. Why not? I think
I would love it.
that's a lot more than carrying his equipment bag. I don't know.
I
got
think
a little,
to suggest that Morgan Rielly does not have the physical strength to pick up Chris Pronger's equipment bag and trade it to Anaheim to win a Stanley Cup.
Ah, damn it, Adam took it before I did.
I mean,
to suggest that Morgan Rielly can't carry his bag to the airport. Damn it! Oh, how does it always come back to the Oilers? I'm sorry.
So there are some suggestions that they could do a really great job, and that's awesome.
You know what? In an ongoing effort to rebuild my relationship with Oilers Nation, we are not talking enough about the bloody fantastic season Leon Draisaitl's having. On that team, he's second in goal scoring.
And I hate to take away from that. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, too.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, all 3 are career highs.
Yeah.
Now, this is me going back to negatives. It just emphasizes more how unbelievably bad the rest of the team is. But those 3 are rocking it.
Is it weird of me to say that it seems like the fans are in full revolt and getting it?
Yeah.
Even the fans who last year were like, oh, it's just a one-off, it was a bad year, Chiarelli's not bad, or whatever. It seems like even the people in the middle are like, no.
So I made fun of them going, oh my God, mid-sentence, I just realized what's going to happen. I'll tell you. So I was making fun of them going, what is the worry? Like, how is this going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Then I saw a tweet today. You can get into the Oilers game tonight or whenever it is for like $20 or something like that. So the amount of money they're asking
and Arizona
for season
fans are like,
seats,
whoa, that's really expensive, you guys.
easy there.
Florida Panthers fans are like, wow, I don't have to mortgage my house. Come on
Florida
now.
Panthers fans are like, I got to pay. This is trash.
Do we need to just take drive-by shots at other fan bases?
No.
Why not? And what?
It'd be pretty easy because there aren't any in Florida. Arizona fans, I do it because there are passionate Coyotes fans who come after us.
My team just lost 6-2. I'm going to go after everybody else and deflect from that.
Well, and Coyotes fans are always very funny about it, so I don't mind. That doesn't bother me.
I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So the season ticket thing, like, I'm starting to think that might actually be a thing. That they might actually have difficulty with the season seats. So they got to make the playoffs.
Which they might do.
They got to make the playoffs in order to get those season seats up. Now, what if they don't make the playoffs? Shoot, well, I guess they'll just have to lay in the bed that they've made for themselves. LOL, no hockey team has ever done that. In order to get those season seat sales back up, big old dumb free agent signing. So who's it going to be?
With what money?
Yeah, what?
That is the problem.
I mean, I don't doubt that they would.
I'm just waiting for it.
Like, there would be a Jay Beagle signing for sure. By the way, Jay Beagle, I believe, has 1 goal this season.
It's amazing because the Canucks...
It's almost as though you could have seen this coming somehow.
The Canucks, like, if they actually had fourth-line production, might be in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah. No, sorry.
That and all the
sorry,
injuries.
you know what? Wrong. 3 goals. Yeah, so yeah, there's that. Remember how much shit I took for saying how terrible a signing that was, and Canucks fans got on me, and...
Yeah, well, it was. I mean, I think he's also battled injuries.
Yeah, 45 games, but still.
Guys, it's too much money. It's too much bloody money.
I think the problem is that all of this is... You said it perfectly.
I know.
You think they're going to duff on this. You think that they are not going to be they're not going to make good decisions.
Right.
Because every other time they've been trusted with making good decisions, they've gone the opposite way and said, no, we'll continue this pathway down this road. And I am inclined to agree, although a broken clock is wrong twice a day.
No.
Right.
Right, twice a day. Wrong the
And
rest
Adam
of the
Wild
time.
is wrong right now.
Right now. and usually. And I feel like this is one they might actually get. And here's why. I feel like sometimes, there are certain teams that just need to eat a shit sandwich, like the Leafs did. Okay, we're going to eat a shit sandwich for a bit because we screwed this up for a long time. Shanahan came in and was like, yep, okay, this is going to suck for a while, pain.
Well, he was like, I need to take a bite of the shit sandwich first to know how bad it is.
Right. And
no, Brendan, it's just shit. It's in his mouth.
The Oilers don't seem to have hit rock bottom yet.
Ooh.
Adam Wild.
No, I don't think they have. I think they'll get a GM who's actually pretty good.
Oh, no.
But then what they're going to do
Adam.
is they're going to surround him with the same guys who was surrounded by the last guy. And they're going to eat him alive too. Or her. Maybe they'll do something crazy and it's someone who's qualified. Who knows? And then you get them in there, and then they're surrounded by terrible advisors, and they don't do very well either. For
Halloween 2019, I'm going to go as the last 30 seconds of this podcast. That is the most evil thing I've ever heard.
I don't think they're hit rock bottom yet. As long as Connor McDavid's on your team, it might be impossible. At least the Leafs had zero people that would have been above the third line on any other team. The Leafs had no stars. No, and then they traded him.
And then he won the cup on the third line.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Or we had JVR, who was definitely a top line guy. Fine, but besides that, it was a terrible team. The Oilers don't even have that opportunity to be that terrible.
You know who they're going to give too much money to this offseason? Tyler Myers.
Tyler Myers? Is he
Do they have any money?
UFA, Winnipeg is making 5.5 right now, or $5 million right now. 5.5 right now is cap it. I think they go out and they're like, here's a defenseman we can get. Give him way too much money, production falls off. It's 28, I think.
So here's another broken clock right twice a day thing. They might not be able to do it, like you said, because they don't have any space.
Yeah, the cap space might save them from themselves. The sins of Peter Chiarelli may prevent the sins of whoever the next guy is.
Want to bet, said the Oilers. Can't wait.
Is the season, in Edmonton's eyes, if they make the playoff, they squeak in somehow and they get swept? Or are they like, it doesn't matter, we made the playoffs?
Yes.
Season salvage?
Yes.
100%.
And this is why they will never bottom out. They have Connor McDavid, and they do have a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah.
And when
6
they
points?
need to bottom out, the day that Connor McDavid asks for a trade, if that day ever comes, that will be the bottom out day.
So,
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
It's the NHL. The guys don't get upset.
and it should be mentioned, I think you pointed it out there, Jesse, the Oilers in 69 games, which is a nice amount of games to have played.
Pretty nice.
How many points do they have?
Also 69, which is a nice amount of points to have.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Wait, are they on an 82-point pace?
Oh, yes. That's not very good.
Technically.
That's not playoff, guys.
No, but here's the concerning thing. The Coyotes, who have played 70 games, it's one more game, have 75 points. And they're in the final wild card spot in the West. Now, the Oilers would have to leapfrog 4 teams to get into the playoffs. But those teams are 6 points, 5 points, and 3 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
Wait, did I get that right? Oh, and
No.
Chicago's tied with them.
And they win the tiebreak, I think, because of the head-to-head.
Yeah, and all those teams except for Chicago have played more games. It is not impossible for the Oilers to make the playoffs. Still.
7-2-1, last 10.
They're on a bit of a heater, aren't they?
Yeah, only team hotter is Arizona.
I like what I saw from Stallers.
They're never going to
against the
bottom
Leafs.
out, guys. We're going to repeat this dance next year, too.
Oh, my God.
Because even if they wanted to get better, how? How are they going to get better?
You know why they're not in the playoffs, though, despite that hot run? Coyotes, 8-2
I just said that.
in their last 10. Did you?
It's interesting.
Fuck, I did that to Jeff Merrick the other day on ice surfing. Thank God
See,
I
when
was
you do it to
rehearsing.
us, it's not a big deal.
We got 2 hours. It's going to happen.
Embarrassed.
I'm Jeff Merrick. He's Jeff Merrick.
I'm so sleepy. I'm sorry.
I made this. I made this. You know what? That is the best meme of all time. That is the best meme of all time.
I'm embarrassed.
Now, there's also, according to Elliot Friedman, and I'm going to read directly because he words it perfectly, there's been a lot of reporting about the Ottawa coaching job.
No, screenshot half the article and put it on Twitter.
Canada.
Like everyone else.
This one is
something
free.
specific?
This one is free. You can look this up for free. And
No,
I'm not reading
Adam.
all 31 thoughts.
No one will read it if they have to leave the application of Twitter.
Whoa, this is nuts! And posts like 6 of the 31 thoughts.
Whoa, I hope people retweet me.
Whoa, I know.
Whoa, here's 4 pictures of all of 31 thoughts.
Whoa, can't believe this. The whole fucking thing. Sorry.
Crazy. These 31 thoughts Elliot had.
Help us keep the lights on, guys. WTF.
Speak for yourself, us.
Yeah, us. You know, us Rogers employees in here. What?
Crickets. Candidates range from those with plenty of experience. This is for the Ottawa coaching job. We got Mark Crawford, who's the interim. Jacques Martin, who's been the coach there about 80 times. Michel Therrien, who for some reason is still considered a coach that could be viable in today's NHL. And Alain Vigneault. Now, Alain Vigneault, that's a coach. To those who, and then there were those who interviewed last time around, Brad Shaw, Mike Yeo. And during that process, the Senators asked Toronto permission to speak to DJ Smith, but were denied. That's something to keep an eye on. Now, if I'm Toronto, I let him speak, because if he really wants to go, good luck, DJ.
Yeah.
There are several good NHL or AHL coaches out there, too, but it will be interesting to see if the organization considers Troy Mann the bench boss of its own affiliate, Belleville. As far as I can tell, Mann has interviewed twice for NHL assistant positions, never for a head coaching job. Ottawa's young players have improved under his tutelage, and the AHL Senators have 18 points in points in 18 of their last 20 games. But
they've done well.
If you look at tweets by Jim Matheson, how do you know if you're getting a coach in the AHL if he's going to be a good coach at the NHL level?
Give someone a chance.
Sort of like hiring a backup goalie. You just don't know if he's going to be good. To the chorus of Eugene Melnick's followers.
There's someone else who was very smart said you got to give something to get something.
You did say that, didn't you say that?
Yeah, I know. I did say that.
There's a few people who said that.
If, assuming he has a good relationship with the players, it seems like he's gotten the most out of them. And the other thing is, I don't think Ottawa can break the bank to sign someone. So bringing up your guy from Belleville, doesn't that sound like an amazing idea? Doesn't that sound like a good idea for the Ottawa Senators?
Sounds like the only idea.
The only reason I wouldn't do it is because I know my team is in full rebuild mode, and I might rather keep him down there along with my young players and maybe have one more year where I just sign a bunch of mercenaries to basically play for me until the deadline, and I trade them for picks. Because, do you think this is going to get fixed in a year? I'm not sure.
Right.
They might. They need stops. They haven't gotten stops this year. But if they are a little healthier and they go with their team strength, which is speed, they could have a season like Vancouver had this year, where they're in it.
And wouldn't you if you were them?
Tyler in it.
Oh, I would.
No.
I would be the Tyler Ennis team this free agent season. Do what the Leafs did. Grab a bunch of guys who are super fast, don't have an opportunity anywhere else, and see what you have. The magic beans of veteran players. Guys that have played 3 or 4 years and go... And AHL players, too. Guys who have some speed. Even Alex Formanton. That's a guy that Connor McDavid speed. Bring him up. What the hell?
The Ottawa Senators, I don't know if it'll be next year or the year after. I think they're going to catch a lot of teams by surprise. I think they will. That's assuming they don't screw it up even worse than they already have, which is also a possibility.
I think that they go with the cheapest option on this one. And I think the cheapest option is to probably either hire Michel Therrien or go with their AHL guy. And I hope it's the AHL guy too.
Okay.
I think Michel Therrien around young players is a disaster, and that's exactly why I think Ottawa would do it.
So
I think they're doing this on purpose now.
Oh my God. He takes teams with skill and makes them play with less. What happens when he inherits a team with none? They're just going to sign professional boxers. They're going to bring back, gooning it up, I think.
They'll be relegated.
No, they're just going to punch everyone in the head.
To the E. No, I'm kidding. No, I just don't. I don't think Michel Therrien's a coach that would work with today's NHL game, and that's exactly why I think Ottawa would want him.
And a team just full of young players. Oh, Adam.
I'm serious. I'm
Speaks
absolutely
French.
serious.
We can tap into that market. Sign him. You think?
Yeah, because French Canadians are going to go, yeah, he speaks French. Let's cheer for the terrible team. Alain Vigneault's the guy I'd want.
That is a thing. Oh, that's interesting. But he's a highly paid coach.
He's a $2 million coach.
I think they're going to.
Is there a player on the Sens that makes $2 million anymore? Other
Bobby
than
Ryan.
Bobby Ryan forever and ever, amen. And Craig Anderson.
Pierre LeBrun has brought this up at Puck Talks events in the past. A huge mistake Ottawa made a long time ago is they didn't pay enough attention to French Canada. They're right on the border there. They're Ontario. No, you're Ottawa. You're a border city. There's a reason it's the capital. It's on the border of Ontario and Quebec. They didn't go into Quebec at all, really.
Nope.
No, screwed that up.
And that started from day one.
Yeah, we're talking about a mistake from the 90s.
The 90s, yeah. Absolutely. They have a lot of players that make over $2 million. Bobby Ryan, Michael Bodker, Zach Smith, Jean-Gabriel Pageau. And Chris Tierney. Two of the leftovers from the Erik Karlsson trade.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And Cody Ceci makes 4.3. And then he's an RFA, and then that's it. And then Mark Borowiecki makes 1.2, and then everybody else makes $900,000 on the defense. They have $9,600,000 on their defense currently. Next year, Cody Ceci will be resigned.
Their whole decor is less than Tavares?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Next year, they have $4.4 million on their decor. And that's with Christian Wolanin and Cody Ceci up. Now, I feel like Cody Ceci may actually have to take a reduction in pay. I think $4.3 million might be too much. Don't you?
I don't think people in hockey do. I think they like him.
You would give Cody Ceci $5 million?
That's not what I said. I wouldn't.
People in hockey might.
I think they might. Ooh. You'd be surprised, man.
And they're paying Dion Phaneuf till 2021. Oh, $1.75 million. Dion Phaneuf makes more than everybody on Ottawa's defense except for Cody Ceci.
That trade was a damn miracle.
Think about that.
Oh God, that's so bad.
Dion Phaneuf is the second highest paid Ottawa D-man. Oh my God.
On the Kings.
Yeah, and he will be probably next year too, because I don't think Christian Wolanin's in for some big raise. And and Thomas Chabot is another year away from being an RFA, so he's got to play next year too.
Ouch.
Now, assuming he hits his bonuses, he'll be higher paid. But all the same, that's splitting hairs. Crown Royal.
Yes, sir.
Our good friend Laura Dutart, I believe is how you spell or pronounce her last name. Duart.
I know who you're talking about. Yes, Laura.
Laura, you know Laura. Anyway, Laura from Leafs Twitter. She said, "Hey, are you going to tell us about the event details today?" No.
Oh.
No. But maybe Friday when we do our next show.
Okay.
All I'm going to tell you is April 6th right now. You circled it on your calendar once. You've done it again. I'm asking you to do it one more time. And maybe a time after that. Listen, we're waiting on details, okay? It's all firming up. So just relax. We'll get to the details. I promise you, if I had them, I would give them to you.
Yeah. Because some people were asking for travel because they want to travel.
Well, the event's happening.
Yeah.
So that's, for travel reasons, there you go.
Are they going to need tickets?
I would assume so.
We'll find out. Okay.
All events we've done before, we've had tickets because we would go over capacity. So you'll need a ticket. I don't know how much they'll cost, if they'll cost anything at all. I don't know how you'll get in. I don't know.
Crown Royal.
But it's happening.
Real Sports, April 6th.
That's right. And we're very excited about it. It's shaping up to be a pretty fun event.
I am. I got it circled on my calendar.
Are you guys aware that Evgeny Malkin hit 1,000 NHL points?
Woohoo!
Evgeny Malkin. Ma1KN. Ma1KN.
There we go.
Ma1KN.
See, at least visually it looks like it.
Yeah,
it does.
I'm
like
on
Malkin.
this one. Yeah.
I'm not,
Ma1KN.
but yes.
It's better than Retuspect.
YouTube.
It is and it isn't. It is.
Is it better than Dick?
It's better than
D1.
Dick.
Say what you want about Ma1KN. It's better than Dick.
Can we stop now? We've done this, right?
It's been time to stop.
Yeah.
Every sports team, every sports Twitter, every sports t-shirt maker needs to stop putting numbers in replace of letters when somebody hits an accomplishment. It doesn't work.
No, opposite.
Spell the thing.
Opposite.
No, Jesse.
No. The Penguins Twitter account deserves all the retupect for Ma1KN. The Capitals Twitter account deserves criticism for not somehow making an Ovi 1200kin.
What?
Ovi 1200kin, because he got his Ovi 1200kin point last night.
He got his 1200th point?
Over 1,200.
So you just throw a 12 in there.
1,200.
Yeah.
No. OV, the number 1, comma, 200, CH. I'm done with this bit.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
The point is, it's not funny anymore, which is why we need to stop.
It's about time for all teams to stop this nonsense.
Just stop.
Have I talked about my neighbor's dog yet?
No, we'll get to it. Hey, Jakub Voráček tried to Voradek his way out of a suspension for 2 games.
He didn't do it.
For a Voracek to the head.
Is it weird? Why is Gary Bettman the arbitrator?
That is weird, right?
Yeah.
That's weird to me. Now, I wonder, I think after that you can, if it's beyond 5 games, I think you can go to an independent arbitrator like Dennis Weidman did.
Yeah.
But
they should have made it 3. Like, okay, it should be like the offside challenge. If you lose the arbitration, it's 3. I would like to see that. You try to be slick. Like, no, like, how do you he got a 2-game suspension. Wasn't it on like the same day as like 2 other people?
Yep.
Just eat it. Eat it. You got 2 games. Eat it.
It's just 2 games.
McDavid got 1. Eichel got 1.
And
You got one.
It was interesting that he said, like, I thought Andrew Ladd was going to hit me. And then they're like, yeah, but you could have done other stuff.
Or was it Boychuk?
Or it was Boychuk. Sorry, not Andrew Ladd. Sorry, Boychuk.
I think we need to backtrack in this podcast to find the definitive take on this. Let's head back to NHL by Maddie.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Are we just going to leave his Twitter account open for the whole show?
Okay.
Jesse's laughing like this free reading something.
Funny.
New
It's not
podcast
that
idea.
funny.
Just that music, and we get someone with a smooth, like, audiobook reading voice to just read his tweets.
Jim Matheson tweeted. I have to pull it back up. Sorry, I went too. He says, "Okay, now we're even. McDavid gets 2 games, and so does Eichel for hits to the head."
What?
He said, "Now we're even."
That's that.
Wait a second.
NHL.
What, so another guy got suspended in a
He
completely
said,
different game.
We're even.
We're even.
Who's even?
That's that.
Who's we're even?
Did McDavid do it against a Flyer player or something?
I don't
No.
think so. Or a Buffalo player? Or
Yeah, this is Eichel.
Hold on.
whose Twitter account was that again?
This is from Jim Matheson. He says,
But what's his
NHL by Maddie.
No.
That's Matt.
He says, okay, now we're even.
Wait.
McDavid gets 2 games, and so does Eichel.
And both of them
for
were against
hits
the
to
Islanders.
the head.
But both of them were against the Islanders. The Islanders should be like,
How
"Look at
many?
us."
How many did Voracek get?
2 games.
Now we're even.
I don't understand the
Voracek
logic.
gets 2 games. Now we're even.
Also,
That's that.
also, are you not a journalist? What do you mean we? What do you mean we? We're a podcast. We can say we. We're Leaf fans. We're Leaf fans, not journalists.
No.
What do you mean we, Jim?
Oh, Adam, I think you need to do the math, son. You got to do the math, son, because McDavid got 2. So now they went from even to 2. But then Eichel, 2 pets, got a 2-game suspension, and so that's -2. And now they're back at even.
And then Voracek.
Yeah. 2.
Oh.
2.
We're even
minus
more
2
even.
One of those, yeah, even more even.
Even more even.
Because, yeah.
3 2s
0
is
plus
even.
2 -2 -2 equals even. Matt's Matt. Matt's Matt. Do the math, son. Oh my
I would love
God.
to have. Wouldn't it be great to have him on and just have a Matt segment?
Wouldn't it be
I
great
would
to have him on
kill.
and not ask any questions and just let him speak?
I would read his tweets back to him and call the bit, "Would you like to take that back?" And just say, you tweeted it out there, but is that one that you go in hindsight, too
And then
far?
give him a big, a big balloon hammer that he just wails around his head and hits us with when he wants to double down. Would you like to take that back? Heck no! And he just wields it around his head.
Now we're even.
Now we're
once he
even.
hits us with it.
Yeah, no, the options are, would you like to take that back? And now we're even.
Welcome to Matt's Matt, the
long as-
Steve Dangle podcast.
As long as we're throwing now we're even around in situations that don't apply, would you like to take that back? And now we're even.
I just don't understand how that makes anything even. Or how anything is anything.
I mean, it's Edmonton, and I don't understand. This has been a regular theme in Edmonton media for a long time, and that's why the blogosphere there does so well.
Well, Adam, you've made that drive. You leave Calgary, you drive about 3 hours north, and then you see that beautiful sign. Welcome to Edmonton. Now we're even.
Now
We're
we're even.
even. Yeah,
Voracek got 2. Eichel got 2. McDavid got 2.
And now we're even.
Now we're even. Anyways, I thought I'd bring that back.
Matt's math.
I'm glad you did, man. That didn't make a lot of sense, but I'm glad you did. The Toronto Maple Leafs, and I should have included this in the Leafs part of the show, have signed Joseph Duzak to a 2-year entry-level contract.
The best player.
21-year-old led the NCAA defenseman this year with 47 points in 37 games. He's got 99 over 101 games in the NCAA. 21 years old, right shot D. Hey, man.
And better than your favorite player.
Good to have a competition going into spring training next year. Spring training. Into fall training. The training camp is what most people would call it. And wouldn't it be interesting if...
No.
This is a guy that challenges for a spot.
Oh, my God.
And Liljegren challenges for a spot. And Sandin challenges for a spot. And all of a sudden... we got guys who are young and good players, and all the other players we wanted to trade away for young guys just like this doesn't matter anymore.
Well, now we're even.
Now we'd be even at that point.
If he makes the lineup, now we're even.
Now we're even.
No, it's a shame that they didn't also get the other guy. Can't remember his name. Yeah, well, whatever. He signed with Detroit. Who cares?
He spells it's spelled Hirose, but it's Hirose.
Oh, okay. Well,
Japanese.
More like not going to play for the Leafs. Now we're even.
Well, that's because he wants top line minutes now.
No, yeah. He signed with a player. He signed with a team that he has a chance of playing with very soon. But is it telling that the Leafs are a top 10 team in the league and a college free agent is like, well, I see an opportunity there.
Yeah, well, and beyond that, I think that if you look at the way that Leaf players have been graduated, like if you're Joseph Duzak, who I admittedly don't know much about because I don't follow the NCAA perhaps as closely as I should. I don't have time, frankly. I just don't have time. It's not my main job. I would look at it and go, okay, they're going to give me the opportunity here to develop.
Yes.
It's not a failure if I'm not on the team. Whereas if you put yourself in a Detroit situation, they're going to be like, you ready for the NHL right now? Because we got some space.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not ready? Damn it. We're going to move on to someone else.
And also not insulting Grand Rapids, but there's a ton of teams around the NHL where, you end up playing in the AHL. You're not necessarily in an NHL city or even nearby. It's got to be tough being a Canucks prospect.
Yeah, in Utica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so far. They got to change
Utica's
that.
not bad. But it's the distance to Vancouver that's bad.
Gotta change that.
Yeah.
That's absurd. With the Leafs, you're cab right away.
I don't understand.
Dallas Eakins said it in a commercial.
I don't understand why.
I hate that commercial.
You want to take a bus to Peoria or a cab ride to the Air Canada Center? What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he used to say. Two-packed.
Why won't they put one in Victoria? Put an AHL team in Victoria.
Maybe they've tried.
Put an AHL team in Kelowna. I know the Rockets are huge, but come on.
Where was the Flames had an affiliate? Oh, God, I can't remember.
The Victoria Royals. They play out of...
That's WHL.
But it's WHL, right? Yeah, so... I know they had a team, but not AHL.
Yeah.
The Flames minor team?
Yeah, it was somewhere in BC. I can't remember where. The Marlies played them every 5 seconds because I think no other team would fly.
Yeah.
And they were doomed to fail because they were so far away that I want to say the rule was...
Abbotsford Heat.
Abbotsford. I want to say they had to pay for every team's travel.
The Leafs?
No, Abbotsford.
Oh.
So, of course they failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
absurd.
That's crazy.
The Abbotsford Heat. Forgot about that.
How many days does it take to walk from Vancouver to Utica?
21.
Adam? 4,527 kilometers.
You can walk probably 40 to 60K a day. So I would say that...
That's ambitious.
I think 40K a day. Marching armies on a rush would be 40K a day.
Of course.
Marching armies.
But you got to remember that marching armies would be carrying artillery and supplies and stuff. So
Hockey team would be carrying hockey equipment.
You're as fast as your slowest person. So if you're walking on your own,
the
your
goalie
speed can be determined.
And the Prussian Empire is treacherous to get through, remember?
It sure is. It was a lot of little fiefdoms. So what did you say, 2,600 kilometers?
4,526 kilometers.
I'm thinking 21 might have been wrong.
21
113
days.
113 days.
113 days is your guess? It would take 921 hours, which is
math.
38 days if you walk nonstop.
Price is Right rules, I win.
But I was basing it on 12 hours a day.
Yeah, 12 hours a day of walking and sleeping. And
all I hear is I win. Now we're even.
That's that.
That's that.
Matt's mad.
Matt's mad.
Press conference.
The press SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Hey, one more time, just want to shout out Leo Vegas, leovegas.net. Make sure that you hook yourself up with a chance to play hockey with the great Steve Dangle and the somewhat okay Matt Sundy.
I'm so good.
leovegas.net to sign up. You get to play with other people too, including the O-Dog.
Nice.
I'm not shouting him out. He plays for Smelly TSM.
Here's a conversation that happened the other day. If the Leafs lose in the first round this year, that's the result of their season. And a magic genie gives you the option and says, hey, we'll give you Joel Quenneville instead of Mike Babcock starting next year. Will you take it?
No.
Will you fire Mike Babcock
No.
and take Joel Quenneville if the Leafs lose in the first round this year?
I entertain it.
You're out of your mind.
And I'm not saying they should fire him. I'm just saying, hot damn, Joel Quenneville, though. Who do you think's a better coach?
I don't know. I don't genuinely know. I think you got to look at the fact that, if you were to look at Detroit before they lost all their superstars and their superstars got older,
They
right?
were pretty unbeatable.
You'd be like, Mike Babcock for sure. Yeah. But then Quenneville, who's recently had superstars in their prime and recently won cups, and he's won more cups than Babcock, you might say, well, damn.
But then when the defense dried up,
disappeared.
he got fired.
So what I would say is they're both incredible coaches, but what I don't want, and this is such a Toronto thing, I don't want more upheaval in the coaching staff until, if we lose in the playoffs and it's embarrassing this year, and it's because of deployment, then next year I want to see either change with Mike Babcock or he's going to be on the hot seat, and I think he knows that. He's not an idiot.
Yeah, I genuinely think they're going to have at least one different assistant next year.
I would agree. Yeah. I would actually maybe look at, I don't know, man. The power play hasn't performed all that great.
There's a disconnect there.
Who's their defensive systems guy?
I don't know.
Because that needs to change. Either the coach needs to change or so does the mentality or both. And so I would look at it and go, okay, if deployment is the issue and it doesn't change, then maybe after another embarrassment next year in the first round, then I go, okay, is Mike really the guy?
So you're giving him Babcock, 2 more playoffs.
Yes.
And they're also...
And it depends on how you lose, too. Sorry, to finish my point, Steve, it depends on how you lose. If you get embarrassed, 4-0, 4-0 out, 4-0 out, fine. Mike Babcock, I think people forget, Mike Babcock changed the long-running Toronto syndrome of every player that came here and treated it like a vacation house. Now, there were players that didn't, but there were players that absolutely did.
That's not an overstatement.
No.
It was legitimately, hey, I'm going to come here and make a lot of money.
And relax.
And we're not expected to win.
Yes. And
Babcock and Lou, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. Like Shanny, too, all that.
Yeah.
They're all part of it. Mark Hunter, Kyle Dubas, they're all there. Mike Babcock changed the way the Leafs played hockey, changed the way they prepped, and he might piss off Austin Matthews. He might piss me off. Not seeing Austin Matthews on the ice for 22 minutes a game, I frankly don't give a fuck how much ice time the fourth line gets, or even Nazem Kadri. I want Tavares and Matthews out there 22 minutes a game. Am I getting my results? No. And Nazem Kadri probably hates me for saying that. But quite frankly, they're 2 superstars. He's very good. I want to see the superstars more than very good. Regardless, Mike Babcock changed a lot of things here. He's done a lot of good here. And because we haven't gotten to the second round yet, people are like, well, it's Mike Babcock's fault. No, it's because we keep running. We're the 4th place team, and we keep running into the 3rd place team that's that much better.
Well, and look who, people keep going, another first round appearance. The first one was a year they shouldn't have even made the playoffs. And they played the winners of the President's Trophy. And the second year was Boston, and they almost won.
Yeah.
Well, they also almost lost in 5.
Mike drives me nuts.
Also almost won.
Gotta give something to get some.
Mike drives me nuts, but I think if you're...
Now we're even.
When the Bruins tied it in Game 7, they're like, and now we're even.
John Cooper probably drives, except for this season,
an expensive car.
Imagine John Cooper in the season where the Tampa Bay Lightning missed the playoffs a couple years ago, where they just missed, by the way, and Stamkos was out and everybody's hurt.
After winning like 20 straight.
Yeah. Imagine what was said about him.
Oh, dude, after they lost, I want to say, didn't they consider firing him after last year?
I hope not. But maybe they did.
Or there was a little bit of
a push for that.
Rumors?
I think that if you continue to cycle through coaches, you teach players, as the Leafs did, that they're in charge.
That's part of the reason it's theorized that the Leafs kept Carlisle as long as they did.
Yeah.
They didn't want the players to win. And I don't mean win games. That was never the problem. They knew they weren't going to win games. But they didn't want the inmates to run the asylum. Now, to Babcock's credit there, are the Leafs not one of the best 5-on-5 scoring teams in the entire league?
Yes. Their power play's dried up. Yes.
So maybe...
They're top 5!
Yeah, no, but they fell to top 5.
Oh!
They were top 2.
Imagine.
Or top whatever.
Imagine top 5 in the NHL.
No, that's terrible.
There's literally 25 teams that would trade spots with them.
A hobo with Wi-Fi heard our last podcast.
Is that the name?
That is their Reddit name.
Okay.
I am not calling them names.
Yes.
And Adam, they have a bone to pick with you after one of our discussions. I brought up the fact that Frederik Andersen's contract is expiring in the very near future.
Which is not.
Very near future is almost a UFA.
Over that 2 full years away.
That is going a little close.
And they ranted and wrote, Adam, how can you say that Freddie won't be a Leaf after the end of his next contract?
He won't be.
We've just gone through a cycle of LOL, goaltending is so easy to find, back to, oh my God, why can't Cam Talbot carry us anymore? Why can't Carolina get a starter again? Starting goaltenders are so hard to find and tend to have a relatively graceful aging curve compared to position players, especially with Freddie's more conservative positioning-based style. Even King Hank, with his more athletic, deep, in-the-net style, is still playing well in his mid-30s. Do you really want to go through the Bernier, Reimer, Toskala, Gustafsson, whomever
Stevenson
else platoon years again?
No, obviously not.
Obviously.
The Bobrovsky... sorry, I guess this is for Adam.
Let him answer that.
No, I do want your answer on it too. You said that a lot of goalies go through a graceful curve. You're talking about one of the greatest goalies of all time going through a graceful age curve. You're not talking about some normal guy. And I'm not saying that Freddie's normal. I think he's far above average. We have yet to see... I want to see next level Freddie in the playoffs, frankly.
Yes.
But it comes down to how do you want to allocate your resources and for how long? And what I would suggest is that, no, I don't want to go through the Toskala situation, but we also don't have a dumbass running the team anymore. That was a dumbass trade. It was a dumbass trade. So was the Raycraft trade. It was a dumbass trade, and they're dumbass signings that were dumb. We don't have dummies running this team anymore. And I believe...
We just have dubises.
I believe that they are already talking about this because, 5-year plan that changes every single day. Freddie Andersen will be very expensive. Very, very expensive. You're talking about, with the cap going up the way it is, we could have a $100 million cap by 3 years from now. We easily could. So do you want to pay 10% of your cap for Freddie Andersen? Because somebody will. Somebody will, and Freddie should take it.
Yeah.
But my suggestion would be, no. Let's see if we can find someone else. You got a couple hot goaltenders potentially coming up through the system. Let's see what we got. And maybe you have to re-sign him. But my issue is not even with the amount of money you pay him, it's the term. Guy like Freddie, older guys are going to want long-term. If he wants another 5-year contract, Freddie, thanks so much for being a Toronto Maple Leaf. You were fantastic.
Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck. If you can go to him and say, hey, Freddie, we'll overpay you a little bit, but for 2 years, sign the deal. And that all depends on where his play's trending. Is he trending up or is he trending down? And that's an honest appraisal. You have to look at Freddie and go, are you honestly trending up? Or are you trending down a little bit? Because here's what happens. When you start to trend down a little bit, and this is the sad reality, the fall off eventually comes and it comes quick. You might say, oh, well, he's trended down for the last couple of years, but he's in his mid-30s. He could balance out. No. No. And there is one season, you see this with goaltenders, where they just fall apart. They're just not NHL goalies anymore.
You're just like, wait, you forgot how to stop pucks.
Yes.
What
and
happened?
It's just because they can't do it anymore. Yeah. And that's an athlete thing. So I love Freddie. Do I want Freddie to stay with the Leafs? Sure. But I think Freddie deserves to go get piles and piles of money. And I just don't know that at 33, the Leafs are going to go, yeah, we'll give you a contract till you're 38.
Is he going to be 33?
Isn't he?
I feel like he's
when his contract's
years
up?
Younger than us. Or 1 or 2 years younger than us. drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes. And then
29 years old. He'll be 31 when he goes to free agency.
Carey
And
Price
it's
is
closer
hitched.
than you think.
No, it's not.
Okay, next year, he'll be on next year's offseason. The next year, he's a UFA.
Between playoffs and like preseason, we're talking like over 200 games from now.
So close.
Dude, so much has changed in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I can't see a situation where the Leafs don't have a young goalie waiting in the wings for 2 years from now.
I think they'll be okay.
I think they will too. So yes, that is the answer to my question. Steven, would you like to expound?
No, damn it. You got it. All of it.
Oh, okay.
That was very long. I thought you were going to be like, listen. But no, it took like 5 minutes.
Sorry.
That was good. No, don't apologize. No, I don't have to talk. I can't talk right now. Fuck.
Okay, so tell us about that. Here's my press conference question. Why are you in such a bad mood?
I don't know. I know people are tired of me talking about how I'm tired. So, but bear with me on this one.
Okay.
So up late last night, it was an ice surfing night. My next door neighbors got a puppy, which is great. I love dogs. I love puppies. But they let this puppy outside, and then at like 7 a.m, it starts barking. And I know I'm not going to get any sympathy from you up, at 3:30, whatever.
No,
but I was up late.
It's not a competition, Steve.
Yeah, I know.
It's not.
I know.
It's like when it's minus 10 in Toronto, people in Winnipeg are like, hey, it's minus 31 here. Hey,
Cold.
It's cold in both places.
They're both awful. No, so they let it out, and they just don't let it back in.
Oh. So it barks at the door, and it's cold.
Well, and I taught and it's not that they're like abusing the dog. It's just that Iggy barked because he was a puppy. You teach the puppy not to. I'd be mortified because I know people are sleeping at that time, and he might actually listen to this podcast. I'm not sure. Should I go talk to them, or like I don't know, because my dogs bark sometimes.
I think if you talk to them, then they're going to say, hey, your dog barks.
Yeah, but they're cool, and I just want to be cool.
Don't talk to them. Don't say it.
I know. Should I
Don't
just
say
go
it.
to bed early tonight?
Go to bed early.
Oh, shoot, but I'm making the video
And aren't the
tonight.
Leafs, the Leafs are playing tonight.
They are playing, and I'm pretty sure I'm making the video.
Let me throw this at you. So we have...
Whoa! You threw it. Man.
Whoa, did you catch it?
Crazy. I got it.
Caprice,
Good one, guys.
I got a story for you. So Caprice loves to let the dogs out our back.
Ooh.
We have our driveway back there, but we have a nice little spot in, where it's gravel. So the dogs sometimes will go on the gravel if we're lucky.
Sure.
So she let them out, and of course, and I keep telling her, people really fly down that alleyway. I wouldn't let them out the back anymore. And she's like, you know what? You're right.
Oh, cars drive through there.
Yeah, it's the alley. You've been to my house, right?
I've driven through it.
Yeah,
Don't
but on
fly
the
through
driveway part, they don't. But obviously, if the dog were to walk onto the walk part,
Oh, I wouldn't trust that.
no, I wouldn't either.
No.
And I keep saying, hey, maybe don't do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're not doing that anymore. But here was the straw that broke the camel's back. Are you ready? So of course, Bindi, the wiry, springy one,
Yeah.
blasts off, and Caprice is like, damn it. And she's 6.5 months pregnant.
She can't run
And she
after
can't
her.
run after, but she gets her shoes and gets her coat and goes, damn it. And then she can't find Bindi. So she's taking
no.
Cedric, our chubby little schnauzer, and she's got him in her hands. And she's got her baby in the tummy.
Oh, God.
And she's like, I don't know what's happening. And she hears a bark and a whine, and it's Bindi.
Oh, no.
But it comes from upstairs. Somehow, Bindi, because our neighborhood is weird, made it onto our neighbor's roof.
What?
Because there's a triplex that left their door open, and it's got a fire escape all the way up.
Oh, wow.
And it's a wooden fire escape, which I don't know. I think if it's pressure treated, that's legal. Listen, I'm a landlord. I ask these questions. Anyway, it's also a deck and a fire escape.
Yeah.
So anyway, she goes up the 3 levels of the deck and somehow ends up on the roof. And
Your
then-
dog is literally
Yeah,
on the roof
on the
of your
roof.
building.
And then and then she starts whining because she doesn't know how to get down. And Caprice looks at her and goes, "This is your problem. This is your problem." And she's like, "Come on, let's go, let's go." And it's almost like the sea turtles from Finding Nemo. Let us see what young Spike does. And apparently,
Did she get down?
she figured it out. And
okay, good.
And then she made her way down, and then she was like, and then she kind of came back. When dogs know they're in shit,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
lower their head and their tails down, she knew she was in trouble, and she went right past Caprice into the house onto her bed.
That's very smart of Bindi. Yeah, I know. That's my bad for sure. That's
That's-
Bindi's,
so
that's
anyway,
Bindi's voice. By
She
the way.
got on the roof.
Yeah, so we're no longer doing that. That's a thing that we're not doing. See, my dogs are interesting because the first time you do something with them that's a bit risky, they'll play along. But then afterwards, Benny's like, you know what would be sick if I didn't play along? I bet there's other shit I can do, and they can't even catch me. And then Cedric's like, oh, I'll follow you. Because he's sort of the guy that follows.
So. That's Charlie.
Yeah, it's Charlie. Yeah.
Charlie likes to think he's in charge, and then we go places, and he's like, all right, Iggy, show me around. Listen, kid, show me around.
Do we have another?
No, I'm out of press conference questions.
So I'm going to read an excerpt, just at random.
The final chapter is called Intermission.
Yes.
Is this where Adam makes the book?
No. You guys make it a lot earlier than that. Adam especially, because they talk about high school.
Yeah. This is where the podcast makes the book?
Podcast is in there. And so is the Dangle Navy.
Do we make a book?
I don't know.
I think eventually we'll write a book.
Oh, well,
About the show?
I'm starting to realize how many things I'm like, oh yeah, I could have talked about that.
Well, I think we need to get 20 years in with the show, and then we can be like, hey, let's come up with a book to recap the last 20 years of the show.
I've already been asked all right, so what's next? And I'm like, well, I got to live a little bit more life.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I like that Jake and Smallwood has his own chapter. That's kind of cool.
Yes, he does.
Does he know that?
Did you send him a copy?
I don't think so.
Every once in a while, I get
you should
highlights.
probably send Jake and Smallwood a copy of a book that you wrote a chapter about.
I've decided I'm giving you guys both a copy. Well, you bought one.
I wanted to buy one. I think it's more special.
Well, Adam, would you like one? Because you keep wanting to do a podcast episode.
I do want to.
Oh, yeah, we should definitely.
What I want to do...
how do you do that without spoiling the entire book?
Then don't listen to it, you dummy.
No, it should be an interview. People interview people about books. Adam should just interview you about your book. I'd like that. Would you do? Was that a dumb idea?
We can do that. Totally. I'd love to do that.
Good idea.
Well, I keep waiting for the audiobook. When is that coming?
So I have not heard it yet. And the book it's supposed to be out in 6 days, and I haven't heard it. So I'm hoping it's still on time for March 19th. I've been told it will be on time for March 19th.
Because I want to be the audiobook guy. I want to be the first one to buy it. That's why I'm holding off buying the book. I want to be the audiobook buyer.
That's how you consume your books.
Yes.
The audiobook will be available on the ECW Press website, on audible.com, on Kobo. And does iTunes just take the Audible feed?
I don't know.
Make sure it's on iTunes.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much say in the matter.
Well, yeah, no, you
I also
can.
don't know the price. Yeah.
Oh, I don't care what the price is.
Is it priceless?
That's a business write-off for Daddy.
What?
But also, you're my friend, and I would, of course, buy it. Doesn't matter.
Oh, that's so nice.
But
Thank you.
And I have to buy an actual physical copy, too, because, A, I'm buying it, and B, I need you to sign it. You can't sign an audiobook.
Nah. You coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
Good. Great.
I might be a little bit late. I've got to do a red carpet for a movie called Shazam tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6.
It's based on the app. It's just a bunch of people standing around being like, oh, what song is this?
Nope.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Nope.
Oh, this is the song. Download that later, and then they forget.
It's actually a DC Comics universe movie, and apparently it's quite funny.
Yeah, there's a DC universe where everybody just stands around going, oh, what song is that?
Oh, what song is it? Is it what life was like before the invention of the app, where you have to half-heartedly go, you know that song?
And then you kind of type it into Google and you're like, lyrics. Yeah,
do you want to know how
Great movie.
Do you want to know how Shazam the app started?
No, but yes.
Okay, so Shazam the app.
Does it have to do with a world war?
No, it didn't. It didn't. It did not march through the Prussian Empire in the late 1860s. Shazam started as a phone service.
What?
So you'd hear a song on your cell phone.
Here, play that again.
So imagine you have a brick cell phone.
Yeah.
You hear a song. You remember the Shazam phone number, and you call, and it will charge it to your phone bill. But for $1, you could hold your cell phone up, and it would be able to identify the song.
No way.
That's how it started.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that neat?
That's crazy.
Now imagine for that time.
What?
Crazy technology,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Crazy that they could do
It was
that. Like
movie phone.
Yeah.
You call it up. Hello.
Why don't you just tell me the song that you were listening to? A lot of you don't get that joke, and I'm mad at you.
I think a lot of people caught up from
It was
Seinfeld. Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Adam doesn't get it. No.
Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone.
Why don't you just tell me what movie you want to see?
You want to see Brown Eyed Girl? No. Hey, got a book tour.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Final thing.
I got some dates. So far, We got Thursday, March 28th at 7 p.m. at the Indigo in the Eaton Centre. So that's Toronto. The next day, we got Friday, March 29th, 4 p.m. in the Rideau chapters in Ottawa. The day after that, March 30th, Saturday, March 30th, 2 p.m. Chapters Vega. That's Aaron Mills Power Center. That's in Mississauga. The day after that, Sunday, March 31st, Coles Penn Center. That's at the Coles in St. Catharines. And then I sleep.
Steven?
Yes.
One thing. You're not giving the times.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wasn't
I?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I forgot to give the final one. So, sorry. The Toronto Eaton Center one is at 7.
Yeah, you weren't saying...
Let's start.
I thought I was.
Let's start from the beginning on that.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No,
Okay.
Let's just start again.
because I was like, what time is
Even if we're
My
wrong,
bad.
it can't hurt to repeat it.
Okay,
You're right.
You weren't giving the times.
Okay, Thursday, March 28th at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Toronto Eaton Center. Friday, March 29th, 4 p.m. The chapters in Rideau. That's Ottawa. Rideau, sorry. Saturday, March 30th, 2 p.m. Chapters Vega in Mississauga. Sunday, March 31st, 2 p.m. Coles Penn Center. That's in St. Catharines. And Wednesday, April 3rd, at 7 p.m. Indigo, Oshawa. The Oshawa Center. And if you're like, what the hell? You're not coming to my city. We're working on another Oshawa date. We're working on another Mississauga date. We're working on a Kitchener date. And we're working on a London date. Those are the ones that we might have confirmed as early as tonight. We'll see. Vancouver is probably happening.
Great.
Vancouver in June is probably happening. I'm trying to make Halifax happen. I don't know.
Vancouver in June.
I think Edmonton should happen.
I do too, but here's the thing. So until we know the playoff schedule, I can't really do a ton more in the GTA. And until the Leafs get eliminated, if they win the cup, it's going to be less tour dates because I'm going to be here.
Yes.
I want them to win the cup. I'd rather them win the cup. Or
Yes.
I will change my book title to Nevermind.
Are we?
Nevermind, but I love them.
Game 7, Stanley Cup Final, Scotiabank Arena. Are we finding a way to get inside the stadium, or are we watching it outside?
I will sneak in there like it's a Pacquiao fight.
How are you mortgaging something for tickets?
I will probably be at the hospital.
Let's say it's
I'm not gonna lie, it's that week.
let's say it's your child is already born, or it's it's not going to happen that
staying
day.
with the mother of my child.
Let's say it's a year from now, and you don't have your kid is fine and can stay home with Caprice.
Then yeah, I'm sneaking in for
All
sure.
right.
I would get arrested for
Are you
that.
paying something to get to?
Yeah.
You're paying the
Yes.
whatever it costs.
Yes.
No matter
what. I mean, I have a feeling it'll be like 30 or 40 grand. But
You're
what I
paying
might
that.
do,
Yeah.
Wait to get into the building.
is look at the Flex Pack tickets
Yeah.
as half season ticket holder because I eventually want to be a season ticket guy.
Yeah.
That's going to be really expensive and really long. And not a season. There's a difference between season tickets and seat license. Seat license is an investment. Season tickets is I bought tickets to all the games. Seat license is I reserve this seat forever and ever, amen. That's a whole different story. I'd love to get there, but I'd have to be filthy rich. So
Which you're on your way.
If you get the flex, if you get the flex packs, like the half season, then you can. I believe you get after the season ticket holders, you get some options early on to buy them at face value. To buy playoff tickets at face value, and you have to pay for them all up front, and then. Essentially, what they do is they refund you if they don't make it past at X round or whatever. So what I would do is do that. That's how I would get in. Now, the question is, who do I bring for Game 7 if I've only got one extra seat? Jesse or Steve?
Steve. That's not a question. Take Steve.
Yeah, Jesse. Gotta take Jesse. No, you know what? I'm not being the good guy here. Bring me.
Yeah.
Bring me.
One guy wrote a book.
Yeah.
I didn't write a book.
Where's Jesse got? Where's his damn book?
This Steve is ruining my life. A book. A book by producer
But
Jesse.
I tolerate him.
I can write that book.
This barbecue is ruining my life.
This barbecue is a meeting.
But I ate food anyway. By Jesse Blake.
So yeah, that's what I'm
I don't
looking
know
at.
if I had anything else.
But I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford to do it. But I'm going to try. I'm going to work all the extra. I'm going to drive for Uber.
I want it to
I'm going to
happen.
deliver pizzas. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find the damn money.
Panago
Agreed.
pizzas.
What's that?
Go.
Panago pizzas.
maybe Panago would hire me as a delivery driver.
Oh, that'd be a good promotion. I think they would hire you guys, all of us, regardless. You know,
I like it.
Lovely.
you know? We could go around.
I'd have to make the extra money somehow because I sure don't have it right now.
What, you don't have millions of dollars?
I know.
That's
Isn't
what
it
I
weird?
assume it costs. $9 million. That's my guess.
Anyway,
One Mitch Marner.
so we have the podcast on Friday. And then I don't know what our schedule looks like for next week, but we may be having a special guest.
We are?
That's why it's special. I'm not telling you.
It's a Ridge wallet. We're going to have a fourth mic for a wallet.
Wow.
It's going to retendage. It's the 10% off.
I just realized the special guest is Clint Eastwood.
Talking to a chair, you mean?
Yes.
Wow, that is
Talking to a wallet.
that is an aggressively deep joke. I don't know why you went that deep.
Wrap this up.
This Ridge wallet is President Obama. All right, bye. We'll see you Friday.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.